This is Dr. D. Govardhan, Professor in Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today we are discussing the definition of moment of inertia, radius of gyration, polar moment of inertia, theorems of moment of inertia. The moment of inertia is the geometric characteristic of a cross section of members. The strength and stiffness of a bending member depending upon the moment of inertia of the section. And moreover, it plays an important role when the body is in rotation as the mass which is playing when the body is in linear motions. The moment of inertia of a plane area. Consider plane area whose moment of inertia is required to find out. Let us divide that entire area into some number of small elements. Let A1, A2, A3, they are representing the area of the elements, and at a distance of R1, R2, R3 from the reference line. Now the total moment of inertia of that area of the cross section is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia possessed by all the elements. The moment of inertia is given by area multiplied by the square of the distance. So the moment of inertia of the whole section is equal to A1 R1 square plus A2 R2 square plus A3 R3 square and so on. The summation, it can be represented as sigma of A R square. This is representing the moment of inertia of the plane area. The moment of inertia, since the equation is mr square now, that means is defined as the sum of the products obtained by multiplying each element of area by the square of the distance from the reference line or reference axis. Units of moment of inertia. Generally, the moment of inertia of a plane depends upon the units of area as well as the distance from the reference line. If area is represented in meter square and the distance between reference line to the center of gravity of the elementary area, it is in mm, then moment of inertia is represented in the form of having units m to the power of 4. Similarly, when the area is represented in mm square and the distance between the center of gravity of that elementary area with respect to the axis is also in mm, then the moment of inertia is represented mm to the power of 4 now. The methods for moment of inertia. The moment of inertia of a plane area, it can be determined by using two methods. First method is Roth rules. The second method is by the integration method now. The Roth rule is used for finding the moment of inertia of the plane area which are having uniform thickness and regular figures now. The regular figures means it may be the square or rectangle or it may be triangle or circle and so on. This method is not preferable for the in the field of science and technology, but it is used to find the moment of inertia of the plane figure. Generally, it is the only academic importance. Hence, later onwards, we are determining moment of inertia of the planes by using second method, it is known as the integration method. According to the Roth's rules, to determine the moment of inertia, it states that if a body is symmetrical about the three mutual perpendicular axes, that is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, then the moment of inertia about any one axis passing through its center of gravity is given by mi is equal to arm into s by 3 now. That is, if a body is symmetrically about three mutual perpendicular axes, then the moment of inertia about any one axis passing through its center of gravity is given by m is equal to A into ARM into S by 3 now, where A stands for the area of the cross section, or it is also applicable for the solids. Hence, this A is also replaced by M into S by 3 now. This equation is applicable for the square as well as the rectangular lamina. Similarly, ARM into S by 4, it is applicable for the circular as well as the elliptical lamina. Similarly, ARM into S divided by 5, it is applicable for the spherical body, where A stands for the area of the cross section of the plane area. It may be square or rectangle, circular or elliptical or spherical body. S is equal to sum of the square of the two semi-axes other than the axis about which the moment of inertia is required to be found out. Now, the moment of inertia of the body by using integration method. In integration method, the moment of inertia in any area may be found out by the integration method. Now consider plane figure, which is shown in figure, whose moment of inertia is required to be found out about the x-axis as well as the y-axis as shown in figure. Let the coordinates center of gravity of the plane figure with respect to the x-axis and y-axis, assume x and y now. Let us divide this area into number of strips. Consider one of these strips which is having area is equal to dA, and x is representing the distance of element area from the y-axis. Similarly, y is representing the distance between the x-axis to the center of gravity of the two elementary area. The moment of inertia about the y-axis is given by dA into, that is the area, multiplied by the square of the distance. Similarly, the moment of inertia of the plane figure about the x-axis is given by dA into x square now. Then the moment of inertia of the entire figure is given by I-axis is equal to sigma of dA into x square. Similarly, Iyy is equal to sigma dA into y square and so on. Now, moment of inertia, theorem of perpendicular axis. Let us consider plane which is kept in a coordinate plane, and the center of gravity of that plane area is at a distance of x and y with respect to the coordinate axis. Then according to the theorem of perpendicular axis, the moment of inertia of a plane area about an axis perpendicular to its plane at any point O is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about any two mutual perpendicular axes through the same point O and lying in the plane of area. Now referring this figure, if ZZ is the axis normal to the plane of the paper passing through point O, as per this theorem, IZZ is equal to IXS plus IYY. This theorem can be easily proved by considering a plane having area dA. It is kept in a coordinate planes having coordinates x and y as shown in figure. Now Ix is equal to, according to that figure, that is the moment of inertia of that area about the x-axis is equal to sigma of dA into y square. Similarly, Iyy is equal to dA into x square now. Now IZZ is equal to, that is IZ is nothing but the axis which is perpendicular to the plane and passing through point O, that is the perpendicular to the screen. Now is given by IZZ is equal to dA into R square, because the distance between dA, the center of gravity of the plane area from the O, is given by R now. But it is in the form of right angle triangle. Here R square is equal to, we can write it as x square plus y square according to the geometry now. Hence IZZ is equal to sigma of R square dA. It can be written as sigma of x square plus y square into dA. An elaboration, it gives the sigma x square dA plus y square dA, or it is equal to IXS plus IYY. That means IZZ is equal to IXS plus IYY. Or in other words, the moment of inertia of an area about an axis perpendicular to the plane at any point O is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about any two mutual perpendicular axes passing through the same point O and lying on the plane of the area. Hence, it is proved now. Okay, theorem of parallel axis theorem. The moment of inertia about any axis in a plane of an area is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about parallel central axis and the product of area and the square of the distance between the two parallel axes. That means, as in just AB is representing a line parallel to the central axis GG as shown in figure. According to the theorem of parallel axis, the moment of inertia about AB, that is IAB, is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia of the plane area about its central axis, that is IJJ, plus area of the plane figure multiplied by the square of the distance between the central gravity of the plane area from the line AB, where IAB is representing the moment of inertia of the plane area about an axis AB. IJJ is representing the moment of inertia of the plane area about its central axis GG, which is parallel to AB. A is representing the area of the plane figure, and YC is representing the distance between the reference lines AB and the central axis GG, which are parallel to each other. Now proof. Now consider an element which is at a distance of y from the central axis as shown in figure. Let dA is representing the area of the strip. Now the moment of inertia of this plane, this strip from the line AB is given by area multiplied by the square of the distance, that is the area multiplied by the square of the distance. Area is equal to dA into distance is equal to yc plus y whole square. Okay, again on simplifications, we got to y plus yc whole square is equal to y square plus 2y yc plus yc square into dA, or sigma y square dA plus sigma of 2y yc plus into dA plus sigma yc dA square now. Now the sigma y square dA, it is representing the moment of inertia of the strip about an axis GG, which can be represented as IGG and so. Similarly, sigma of 2yc dA equal to, in this word 2 is a constant and yc also constant because it is the distance between the central axis GG and the line AB, hence 2yc. The remaining terms sigma y dA, which is equal to, just multiply and divide by total area A, the equation now becomes 2yc into A sigma y dA divided by A now. The sigma y dA by A, it is representing the position of the centroid of the plane area about this line GG. Since GG is also representing the central axis, hence the sigma y dA by A, it is equal to the 0 now. Now the remaining terms, sigma yc d square, sigma yc square into dA, it is representing the area because yc is a constant now. Sigma dA is equal to A now, hence it is treated as area multiplied by the square of the distance between the line AB and GG now. So the conclusion is IAB is equal to IGG plus AYC square now. That means the moment of inertia about any axis, the plane area, is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about a parallel central axis and the product of area and square of the distance between the two parallel axes. Hence, it is proved. But here, in these conditions, the above equation cannot be applied to any two parallel axes. One axis must be passing through the central axis only now. So now polar moment of inertia. It is nothing but modification of moment of inertia perpendicular axis theorem. The polar moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the area is known as polar moment of inertia. Generally, it is represented as J or IZZ. Thus, the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane of the area at O in a figure is called polar moment of inertia at a point O and is given by IZZ is equal to sigma of R square dA now, where R is representing the distance between the perpendicular axis at a point O to the center of gravity of the plane area A, and sigma dA is representing the total area of the plane area. Hence, IZ is equal to sigma R square dA now. Here, R square is equal to, again it is the form of right angle now, which is having coordinates x and y now. So R square is equal to x square plus y square. It can be written as sigma of x square plus y square into dA now. So sigma x square into dA, it is equal to the moment of inertia of the plane area dA about an y-axis. Similarly, sigma of y square dA, it is representing the moment of inertia of the plane area about the x-axis now. So IZZ is equal to, it can be taken as IXS plus IYY now. So where IZZ is called here now polar moment of inertia, it is the inertia of the plane area which is about an axis which is perpendicular to its plane now. Radius of gyrations. So in the previous problems, we assumed that the plane having that area, it is distributed. This is about certain space now. But here, according to the radius of gyrations, the entire area is squeezed and concentrated at A as shown in figure now. Then the mathematical radius of gyration is equal to, is defined as K is equal to under root of I A now, or squaring on both sides, we got I is equal to A K square now, where I is representing the moment of inertia of the strip about an axis, which is situated at a distance of K as shown in figure now, where area is representing the area of the strip, that is the entire area of the plane that is assumed to be concentrated as a strip, which is at a distance of K as shown in figure now. From above the relations, a geometric means can be assigned as the term radius of gyration. From above the relations, a geometric meaning can be assigned to term radius of gyration as the distance at which the complete area is squeezed and kept as a strip of negligible width, such that there is no change in moment of inertia. Okay, from these relations, the moment of inertia, it can be treated as a distance from the reference axis to the center of gravity of the strip, such that when it is square and multiplied by the area, it gives the moment of inertia of that plane about a given axis. Hence, the radius of gyrations plays important role in designing of machine members. The integration method is it is applicable for determination of moment of inertia of the objects, solid objects, as well as the plane figure. For the application of science and technology, and Rolle's rule is it is only academic importance. It is applicable to the plane area. Hence, now onwards later, we are not at all discussing the determination of moment of inertia by the Rolle's rules. This integration method is applicable for determination of planes such as square, rectangle, triangular, circle, semicircle. Similarly, for the lines also it can be used to determine. Similar procedure also applicable for the determination of moment of inertia of solids like rectangular prisms and triangular plate, square plate, circular disc and hollow disc, and so on. While determining moment of inertia of these figures now, the most important formulas are the representation of moment of inertia, which is equal to the area multiplied by the square of the distance from the axis. But sometimes, in order to determine the polar moment of inertia, we require this moment of inertia of the plane area about the two axes, which are perpendicular to each other and passing through the axis which is perpendicular to that plane. So, according to the theorem of perpendicular axis, IZ is representing the axis which is the perpendicular plane, and OX and OY representing the two perpendicular axes passing through the Z axis. Let DA is representing the area according to the rectangular planes X axis and Y axis. Assume XY is representing the coordinates. Then I axis is equal to dA x square. Similarly, I axis is equal to sigma of dA y square. Then the moment of inertia of that plane area about the Z axis is equal to sigma of dA r square. So r square is equal to, we can take it as x square plus y square according to the triangle now. Hence, IZ is equal to IXS plus IY. It is the most important terminology used for determination of power transmission through the shafts now. Okay, this theorem is called here now perpendicular axis theorem, and IZZ is called polar moment of inertia. Similarly, the moment of inertia, that is the parallel axis theorem, it is also applicable for determination of moment of inertia of the solids, or it may be the plane area about an axis which is far away from the center of that plane now, or the solid. According to the parallel axis theorem, the moment of inertia of that plane area about an axis AB is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia of the plane area about its central axis, which is kept parallel to AB, and area multiplied by the square of the distance between the parallel axis. This is also important terminology to determine the moment of inertia developed with respect to this axis which is far away from the center now. Okay, according to this theorem, IAB is equal to IJG plus AY square, AYC square. IAB is representing the moment of inertia about the line AB. IJG is representing moment of inertia of the plane area about the central axis, and A is representing its area, and YC is representing the distance between these two parallel lines now. This method is applicable for determination of particularly for the rectangle. In rectangle, we can determine the moment of inertia about the central axis GG, and later this it can be transferred to the line AB, which is passing through the bottom AB by using parallel axis theorem now. Here the important key point is the line AB as well as the GG should be parallel to each other, but GG must be passing through the centroid only now. Similarly, it is also applicable for the triangle. In triangle also, the centroid is locating at a distance of h by 3 from its base. We can determine the moment of inertia of the triangle about its central axis as well as the above the base by using theorem of parallel axis. And the third one, when we are discussing regarding circular plate or circular plane now, in which we can represent the moment of inertia of the circular plane figure about the x-axis, I-axis. Similarly, vertical lines, that is called IYY. If we know the I-axis plus IYY, that is the moment of inertia about the horizontal axis as well as the moment of inertia about the vertical axis, then we can determine the moment of inertia of that circular figure about an z-axis, which is passing through these two perpendicular lines where they are intersecting now. That is nothing but O now. Okay, this is the important, that IJD is the important terminology generally used for power transmission of the through by using pulleys. Hence, the moment of inertia plays a key role, just like mass, which is having important when the body is in linear motion. Similarly, the moment of inertia plays an important role when the body is in rotation motions. So, moment of inertia having, once again, the moment of inertia having the units, since it is the product of area multiplied by the square of the distance, depending on the units of the area as well as the distance measured from the reference axis to the center of the plane figure, it is given by mm to the power of 4 if all the dimensions are represented in millimeters. Similarly, mm m to the power of 4 if the area is represented in m square and the distance between the reference lines to the center of gravity is measured in meters now. So, the moment of inertia is given by area multiplied with the square of the distance. These are the important points which are covered in this session.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.